are you? Minister of propaganda?
Stick around for the full video, guys. I'm going to be talking about a couple of issues in this video right here in particular, and there's also going to be some updates towards the end of the video, so make sure you guys stick around for the full video.
Civil War!
Yes, Tim, we kind of sort of had a feeling that you would bring up Civil War again. Guys, John Claymore here. Now, we're going to talk about this ordeal where apparently the Supreme Court is set to strike down Roe v. Wade, and we'll give you guys a little bit of background on this right here and exactly how this right came to pass. But this video right here is going to be focused more on what exactly is probably going to happen as a result of this. Now, before we dive into this, guys, I'm going to go ahead and lay down the video and go ahead and give you guys an idea exactly how this is going to go. I'm going to talk about the background, I'm going to talk about what's going on forward, and I'm going to refute some of the things that have been coming from the right, not so much from the left. The reason why I'm doing it from the right perspective is because, well, some of these people have had some takes that I think are a little bit reactive, and they may be overreacting a little bit. Now, guys, you guys know my credentials. I'm very, very pro-life, and I'm very, very happy if the court decides to strike down Roe v. Wade because it, for the most part, is a states' rights issue. To tell you the truth, even the proponent of abortion, you know, the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who, by the way, was very, very pro-abortion, she felt that the ordeal should be done legislatively and not through the courts. She actually thought it was a states' rights issue, as she felt that Roe v. Wade was somewhat unconstitutional. Also in this video, we're going to talk about timpool just for a second because, once again, he's talking about Civil War, but then again, though, I have not seen his 1 o'clock segment, which, by the way, I will more than likely be responding to tomorrow. Also, something else, too, timpool had another very, very bad take yesterday at the 10 o'clock segment that I will be talking about at a later date. As a matter of fact, when this video ends, one of the reasons why I want you guys to really stick around for the end of this video is because I'm going to be detailing some of the videos that I plan on releasing on both channels. Now, guys, what happened in this case was apparently the draft was leaked by somebody. We don't know who it was. And by the way, this draft was written up in it was written up back in February of this year that apparently conservatives had the votes to actually overturn Roe v. Wade. Now, many people have been out there talking. They've been wondering, okay, so which justices was it? Is it 5 of 6? Is it all 6 conservative justices? It more than likely is 5 of 6 justices have decided to strike it down, but another justice, of course, that being Roberts, has had a bit of a different opinion on this. By the way, this right here is really in response to the case in Mississippi, Dobbs, Mississippi. Don't worry, I will leave a link to the link in the description box to that case itself. This right is really and truly what it more or less is about. But this right here is being done in response to the left itself. And the reason why is because the left actually did this to themselves. You see, in a lot of states, Virginia in particular, the governor there, Ralph Northam, he was practically for infanticide. The child is had. They were going to allow the option for the mother and the father to have the child killed if they did not want to keep the child. They were basically going to euthanize the child. Pretty sick practice. In New York, it's late-term abortion. In a lot of blue states, it's late-term abortion. Of course, California is basically okay with infanticide. And, of course, Colorado, they basically just passed a law basically saying limitless abortion. We will dive further than that there tomorrow. But this right here, for the most part, is done more along the lines of in response to the fact that it's gone too far. This right here is the reason why it was decided upon. Now, guys, the media is going to spin this like this is the end of abortion. No, this is not the case. What's simply happening is that the Supreme Court has decided to send this issue back to the states, assuming that it goes through. Now, people on the left are happy because this right came out because they think that this person who ever leaked it is a hero to the left. And, of course, you've got some takes out there like, say, for example, Base Patriot believes this right is going to hurt Republicans in the midterms. I actually disagree, but I will handle that here in a second. Oh, by the way, I'm really glad that the Hodge twins pointed out that liberals are finally acknowledging, due to this right here, don't worry, their minds will change in a week, that only women can have babies. Of course, only biological women can have babies. I'm glad that that right there was officially pointed out. By the way, expect this right here to be an issue this year. You see a lot of people, and I think Styx Hexenhammer had the most reasonable take. I was just watching him. And he stated that this right here would be an issue for the left come midterms. The problem is that because of people saying crap like birthing people, saying that men can have babies, all that type of stuff right there, it makes them look like absolute loons. So, no, I do not believe it will be the campaign issue that Base Patriot believes that it will be. Styx has gotten it right the most of anybody. I'm going to trust his judgment on that, even though me and him differ on the opinion of abortion itself. He's pro-choice, I'm pro-life, but I think he's 100% correct. I don't think it's going to be that big of a play because the only thing they're going to do is they're going to tack it on to other issues like, say, packing the Supreme Court, crap, but just stuff that's completely unpopular as a whole. And when timpool talks about this right here.
Really. And I believe the reaction suggests, oh, come on, I'm going to say it. civil war of the highest court in this country. And the left is calling whoever leaked this document a hero. What was the intention of the leak? I believe, as many do, that it was to sway the opinion of the court, to terrify Supreme Court justices, and it may work. If with this news and the reaction from the left, they're hoping that someone, maybe Brett Kavanaugh, someone in the Supreme Court will be like, I'm not doing this because of terrorism. Outright. That's what it is. I don't think this country can withstand this. But let's take a look at exactly what this is, because I know a lot of people are talking about it, but we've got some articles from timcast.com explaining what is actually going to happen. And as much as I'd love to jump in and be like, civil war. No. Hold on. We do have an excellent article from Stephen Marsh, where he wrote the book, The Next Civil War, and he talks about how he thinks abortion could be a moral issue similar to slavery. I've held the same opinion for some time, and we've talked about it.
He doesn't seem to realize that abortion is not really an issue that would cause a civil war. Now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and answer this timpool take, and then I'm going to have one more take towards the end of this video to discuss. Now, the very long and short of it with Tim is what Tim does not seem to understand is it would probably just create more along the lines of a us versus them mentality between red and blue states. However, a lot of the purple states, battleground states like, say, Pennsylvania, for example, North Carolina, where I live at, Wisconsin, Michigan, they have Democrat governors, but they have very, very conservative legislations. The people who live in the battleground districts are more than likely going to go off of the issues of the day, meaning inflation, gas prices, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And if anything, eventually abortion is probably going to be confined to mostly blue states like New York, California, Colorado, Illinois. That right is basically what it's probably going to be confined to. So no, I don't see this for starting a civil war. And obviously, I don't see how this issue right here relates to slavery. By the way, Tim Pool gets a lot of his Civil War takes from a guy in Canada named Stephen Marchand, who's only been to the United States one time his entire life. And that one time he came was to go on Timcast IRL. Okay, so once again, Tim Pool has missed the mark. But don't worry, we'll be doing videos on him this week, and I'll talk more about it at the end. But here's the issue right here that many people are trying to cite. You see, right now the concern is that which conservative justices actually voted for basically the repeal of Roe v. Wade. Well, let me go ahead and break this down for you with a little bit of history. Back in 2012, conservatives were in a bit of we were kind of sort of like looking at the Obamacare stuff. We thought that Obamacare was unconstitutional. For the most part, we still debate this issue all the time. And there was a ruling that was going to come up about the individual mandate. Of course, the individual mandate basically said that you had to buy into Obamacare, and is pretty much un-American because the United States government itself, the United States as a whole, typically does not impose that you pay for something that you do not want. It's completely un-American. So when Obamacare got to the Supreme Court, the conservatives, at least four of them, were lockstep in saying that this right is unconstitutional. The liberals, of course, were saying that it was not. The person that we expected to screw us over was Justice Anthony Kennedy. Kennedy was a bit of a swing justice and a little bit more liberal on the issues. It ended up being John Roberts. John Roberts did that to placate the left because he wanted to be a pragmatist in the entire ordeal. He also may have done it to make it be a campaign issue for the right to run against, because in 2010, Republicans won a massive victory when it came to the U.S. Congress, and they also won a bunch of Senate seats. They were not able to overtake the House of Representatives and the Senate in 2010, but the Obamacare issue ignited them. Now, people on the left are thinking this right is going to ignite their side of the aisle, but of course, these people here are a massive amount of flunkies. And when you start talking about stuff like birthing people, and you're basically saying stuff like, yeah, we basically just want to go ahead and kill babies. You've gone from pro-choice to killing babies, okay? The amount of crazy stuff they do, the protests that they've been doing, which, by the way, we will talk about that more tomorrow, of course, in the reaction segment. The stuff that they do is actually going to make people just not want to side with them on the issue. Not to mention the fact that 49% of the country views themselves as mostly pro-life. Now, somebody in the comment section is going to say, what numbers are you citing? Well, we'll just put it this way here. The numbers consistently state that a certain amount of the population is pro-choice, but yet pro-choice to only a certain extent. They want limitations in place, okay? So you've gone from safe, legal, and rare to 8 weeks. Next thing you know, 8 weeks is 16 weeks. 16 weeks is 24 weeks. And next thing you know, 24 weeks is infanticide. People do have limitations on this. And as a result of this, roughly 49% of the American people, as a result, have been open to the idea of putting certain limitations on abortion. You see, the left went way too far with this right here. They went way too far. So I don't think people in the middle are going to care that much about the issue. They're going to be caring more along the lines of like high gas prices, inflation, stuff that I mentioned in the first segment of this video. But going back to John Roberts, and this right here was the point. This time around, we don't have 4 conservatives and a swing justice. We now have what appears to be 5 relatively conservative justices with a swing vote being Roberts. By the way, Ketanji Brown Jackson is not on the court yet, so please don't cite her yet. Now, it's possible that somebody may have leaked the information to her. I'm not going to go there yet because we don't have enough proof or enough evidence to suggest that maybe Breyer might have leaked the intel to her to go ahead and get on out there. But right now, the left is saying, well, now we've got this opportunity to go out there and protest and riot and maybe change the minds of these justices. I don't think that right there is going to work. If anything, the way the left acts in this entire case is just going to make people on the right, the center, and even some of the center-left people turn straight to the right to spike these people. So, no, I do not believe this is going to be a campaign issue that the left is going to be successful with. Now, by the way, I did hear one take. It came from Bernie Sanders where he wanted to say, well, look, we should go ahead and put this right up for a vote so that way it becomes legislation, end the filibuster, and go ahead and pass it through. Bernie, the problem is this right here. When it goes to the Senate, it's going to get filibustered right away, which, by the way, is going to make you people look more and more and more like the loons that you are, loonier than you people kind of already are. I know I said that twice, but that right there is the point. I don't think this right is going to be a major campaign issue because, like I said before on multiple occasions, these people are flunkies, they're loons, and people are starting to turn away from you in general right now. It's not so much the fact that people are rejecting Joe Biden, they're rejecting mostly the progressives. It's going to be the progressives that are going to make the most amount of stink about this, and they're going to be the ones who hijack the Democrats' message this coming fall. Just watch and see. Guys, with that right there being said, let's go ahead and get into these updates. Okay, now, really quick, I wanted to bring up an update segment. As I've already spoke, this video right here is basically a part 1 to another video that I'll be having tomorrow, which is a reaction video. It won't be labeled part 2, but think about like a part 1 and 2. There will be 2 separate takes that timpool has made this week. One, of course, I'm waiting for the rest of the information to come out today about his Civil War takes. And then there's another take that he had yesterday, which, by the way, was absolutely insane. It was completely brainless about the situation going on in Ukraine. Speaking of the Russia-Ukraine story, there will be a 3rd video out, which will be on short time of prepping, about how Putin is changing the actual strategy of what's going on there. The 4th video will be kind of a compilation video of what's been going on this week to kind of sum things up. There was an issue that was brought up last week by Elon Musk where he was talking about the left going way too far. He even brought up some nice little charts about it. I will be bringing that up at the end of this week to kind of address exactly the fact that the left has gone too far. And this right here is sort of an example of it. Of course, they've gone way too far on abortion. They've gone way too far on the topic of free speech. They're completely anti-free speech now. And it's going to be a bit of a sum up on that right there because with all the developments that have been happening for the past couple of weeks, libs have been taking some serious hardcore L's, and I believe that the meltdowns and the craziness is only about to pick up. And with that right there being said, guys, John Claymore, if you like the content, hit the like button, subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll see you guys later.
Guten Tag, Herr Jones. And mein Herr. Weg. Tickets, please.
Was?
No ticket.